welcome you. If this is your first time with us, this is a very special welcome to you. If this is your 51st time with us, welcome to you as well. Dear God, Heavenly Father, we thank you for the food before us, the friends beside us, and your presence among us. Keep us in your care and guide us to love and serve you. We pray in Jesus' name. Amen. So a reminder that Sunday the 20th at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, right in this room, we show a movie, Home Run. We have a young lady who wrote the songs for that with us as well. So we invite you.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Soul Lunch. Soul stands for sharing our unconditional love, and we know that we can only do that because Christ loved us, and that's why we celebrate with these special meals all the time. Yeah.
She said I could have an extra one because she gave hers.
Do you want another buttermilk?
That's good.
I'll take that. 1 second. Hi, how are you today? Good.
How you doing?
Miss Jerry. I'm here on the ministry staff here at Risen Savior. And I've been asked to share some photos, and you'll see those on the screen, from the honor flight trip that I was privileged to attend just this past May. Honor Flight is a national organization to assist World War II veterans to see their memorial in Washington, D.C. And on our trip in May, we had 29 veterans, and there were 21 guardians. And it was an absolutely incredible trip. My roommate Nancy is here. She was also a guardian on the trip, a reunion with as many as who could attend. And we looked at the 1,700 pictures that were uploaded to a Snapfish account. There's not 1,700 here, I promise. There's only about 120. Of the 29 veterans, I was personally responsible for 2. Ted Schmidt is here with us today, and Roscoe Golden might be coming a little bit later. He was here at the last Soul Lunch, and it was just an incredible honor. The first full day is doing everything in Washington, D.C. Our first stop is the World War II Memorial. These are still pictures at Tucson on our way out. And then we had 2 women veterans on our trip, so we were able to go to the Women's Memorial as well and look around there, and we had lunch. Then from there we went to the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier and watched the changing of the guard. We saw the Korean War Memorial, Lincoln's Memorial was right there, and by that time it was getting late in the day and we needed to get back to our hotel in Baltimore for dinner, and so we could only drive around the Iwo Jima. As the day wore on, the veterans, their energy level and excitement just seemed to get increased every single stop. And I ended up taking a nap on the drive back to Baltimore. I was worn out. One of the veterans took the microphone and he explained how until this trip he thinks that maybe 4 people had ever came up to him and thanked him for his service to our country. And now because of this trip he's lost count. And I cried. I'm crying again. That's what this trip is all about. Honoring our heroes, our humble heroes. They signed up early, they went where they were told to go, they did what they were told to do, and they didn't come home until they were told to come home. It's not their fault they didn't end up in a minefield or a foxhole. It's not their fault that their place didn't get bombed. They did what they're supposed to do, and somebody had to be doing that job. It was an absolutely incredible trip.
Come to the airport and welcome them home. They love, by the time they get home, they're like peacocks. Everybody has been praising them and telling them how wonderful they are. And when they get home, and their friends and family and all of Tucson is out there cheering and waving flags. It's just an amazing experience to be part of the welcomers. That I really would encourage you to do that. And again, like Jerry said, you can go and find out the information. We won't be having any more trips now until the fall.
And he has a little story he'd like to tell about his experience.
Well, I can't tell the most important part of it is a surprise for everybody. But when we left Tucson in the morning, the fire department came out and made 2 water arches. So we went from the gate to the flight line, we went underneath the water. 2 fire trucks and made another arch of water so we could go through the arch. And no matter where we got on or off, there were 200 or 300 people welcoming us to where we were going. And it was an experience that I never thought I'd have at my age, because I'm 88 years old.
To even be on this trip when the trip started, it's good to know that we haven't been forgotten, and the younger generation does know about our service to this country.